Am I live? Hello, 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 and welcome to another Friday of What the Health is Wrong with You. It is not what you think. I am Debbie Williams, your board certified nutritionist. And today we got a really good topic. There's something here. It's only turned on for subscribers.
I think it usually says that. They can only send messages.
Okay, all right, so we're just making sure. You know, every Friday we have some technical difficulties, but today we are talking about hair loss. So if any of you have been experiencing hair loss or know someone who has hair loss, you want them to be here today because hair loss is such an emotional topic. It affects everybody, and at some point in time, it's going to affect you if it hasn't affected you yet. It affects me, it affects everyone. And there's a lot of myths around hair loss on why you have hair loss or how to even grow your hair back. Your hair back. I'm talking to you from a science perspective. I'm a nutritionist. So when I talk about hair loss, I bring in the science of hair and what hair needs to help you understand why you're losing the hair. That's the part that nobody why can't I talk today? That's the part that nobody shares with you, why you have the hair loss. If you've gone to a dermatologist or a specialist for your hair loss problem, most of the time they'll tell you, we don't know, maybe it's in your DNA, things of that nature. But most of the reasons for our hair loss, most of our reasons for our hair loss is an internal problem. So the first thing I need you all to understand is that hair loss is an internal problem. 99% of it is an internal problem, not an external problem. That's 99%. Now that 1% of hair loss is our fault from what we do. Like even I rock my braids, but you know what? If I don't do this right, I could lose hair in my braids. How? By leaving my braids in too long, by not washing my scalp, by not preparing my hair and not giving my scalp the nutrients that it needs. So that 1% of us who lose hair because of our own fault, it's because of the things we do, the chemicals, the colors, the relaxers, the braiding, the pulling. Those can cause hair loss, but that's only that 1%. That 99 other percent of our hair loss, of our hair thinning problem is due to imbalances in the body. And the number one reason why we lose hair is because of a nutritional deficiency. So one of the things about hair that many people don't tell you is that hair is a living cell. Not the hair that you and I can see, feel, and touch, but underneath that scalp, that hair lives. That hair needs nutrients. That hair breathes, in a sense. And just like this body you live in needs minerals and nutrients to sustain you, so does your hair. So if your hair is lacking zinc, you're going to have hair loss. If your hair is lacking iron, you're going to have hair loss. If your hair is lacking magnesium and copper and calcium and selenium and sulfur, you're going to have hair loss. If that hair is lacking, here's the big one, vitamin D, you're going to have hair loss. But that's not what people are sharing with you. That's not what the dermatologist told you. That's not whatever hair care specialist you went to. That's not what they're telling you. They're telling you, hey, let's give you some steroid shots. Let's introduce you to PRP. Let's give you some biotin. Let's give you some topical stuff. Now, the thing is, those things can work. But if you never address the root cause problem, then you might see some hair growth, but it's not going to be permanent until we address the problem. So today, my topic is bye-bye hair loss, because how do we improve our hair? How do we help our hair grow? How do we get healthy hair? It's by what we put in our mouth. It's by what we eat. And that's why as a nutritionist, I always thought years ago that I need to share with people that you got to eat good if you want that hair on your shoulders, down your back, or just, it doesn't have to be long. You just want it to be healthy. It's your diet first. So we're making a juice today. Some of you can see my nama and some of you can't. Let me move it over so you guys know. You know, when I have my apron, you know what that means. I'm about to make you and show you something. So I'm going to be making what I call my hair loss growth or hair growth juice. And in my hair growth juice, we are going to be using a beet. We're going to be using pomegranate, we're going to be using spinach, and we're going to use some ginger. But before I get into showing you how to make this juice, I'm an educator first. So I need to explain to you the science, the mechanics behind hair loss. And then I'm going to explain to you the mechanics on why these foods are amazing for you to start helping your hair. And it not only is going to help your hair, but it's going to help your skin. It's going to help your internal organs. It's going to help more. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is what causes the hair loss. The typical things that most of us know, it's stress. Getting older, age can do that, and genetics, but that's that little part of it. Here's the big cause of hair loss that no one is addressing. It is your internal organs, like the liver. And did I leave my liver in the car? I sure did. Like your liver. Your liver plays a major role in every factor of your being, everything you do. The liver is responsible for some part of that. It is an organ in your body that has about 500 jobs that it does for you. And every other organ and gland in your body needs the help of the liver. Most of us, if you know anything about the liver, you know that it actually helps to release waste and toxins. But that's 2 out of 500 things that the liver has to do for you. The liver's connection to hair loss is in its connection to vitamin D, because the liver has a lot to do with how vitamin D activates. And if your liver is sluggish, if your liver is burdened, if your liver is bogged down with junk from processed food, from a terrible diet, from too much medication, from stress, from all these different things that happens to our liver, then your liver won't be able to function properly. And remember I said it had 500 jobs. Well, that job of helping to activate vitamin D, the liver's not able to do that. And in return, what happens? You start losing hair. You start losing your edges. Hair just starts thinning. And here's something I want to share with you about when we lose our edges. How many of you have lost edges, and it has nothing to do with braids and locks and anything like that, but you just know you're bald, and the bald spot, let me share with you, the bald spot is around your ear, the lobe, or the bald spot is in the back of your head, and no matter what you do for years, you've had that bald spot. Here's a secret. That's a thyroid issue. When the thyroid is having problems, whether it's hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, your hair is affected. And one of the symptoms it gives you is that bald spot, like right around here or back here, that just whatever you do won't go away. Studies have proven it. I have had people come work with me in my practice as a holistic practitioner, and by me doing certain tests, a hair mineral analysis and a gut test, I saw what they were deficient in. And when we use food as medicine to build back their diet, their body, guess what started happening? Because I was focusing on helping the thyroid. So your thyroid is a butterfly-shaped gland that sits right here at the base of your neck. That gland is so small. It's not even an organ, it's a gland. But that gland is so significant to your daily activities. And when that gland is off balance, and normally what most doctors don't know, the liver is behind why the thyroid is not functioning properly. But when that thyroid isn't functioning properly, it tells you, it talks to you, just like everything else in your body. Your body talks to you. Hair loss is a conversation that your body is having with you. It's a way to get your attention. Hello, I'm having some problem. Listen, if I start taking out that hair, will you finally listen to me? And guess what? Most of us, when we're having problems, our body is talking to us. But we have been trained to ignore it. We have been trained to go and get some sort of pain medicine to stop the pain instead of addressing what that problem is. So now the body's like, listen, I've been telling you for 3 years, I'm struggling, hello? And then once that body start pulling out that hair, and you seeing hair coming out in the brush, in the comb, in the shower, on the bed pillow, now you're like, oh my God, my hair's coming out. I need to go see somebody. That's that symptom that finally gets your attention. But you know what? Your body has been talking to you for years, trying to get your attention of its problem. And because our body tells us, but we haven't been trained to understand what the body is saying, we ignore it because we've been trained to just take a pain medicine and feel better, but then the problem still exists. And if we don't address it years and years later, it's going to fester into something bigger. So that's something I want you all to understand. Do not misdirect your pain, whether it's a back pain, whether it's a headache, whether it's I would say, what do you call it? When you have, and it's right on the tip of my tongue where I can't think of it right now. When you have numbness, tingling in your hands and feet, don't disregard that. When your eye is twitching, don't disregard that. When you can't sleep at night, don't disregard that. When you can't get rid of that belly fat, don't disregard that. These are all the symptoms that your body is giving you that it's struggling. And I actually, as a nutritionist, all the symptoms that I just shared with you, I can tell you exactly what they all mean. But most of them all lead back to nutritional imbalances. Your calcium is off. It's either too low or too high. Your magnesium is off. It's either too low or too high. Your iron is off. Your zinc is off. Your copper is off balance. And when these minerals are off balance, they're the first to tell you something is wrong. How and why? You need minerals for survival, everyone. Most of us don't know that. Another name for mineral are nutrients. We know the word nutrient, but most of you don't know what that nutrient is. The nutrient are those minerals that I just mentioned to you. Your nutrients, it's that vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. Those are nutrients that your body needs. Your body in the form of minerals cannot produce it. So your body needs them on a daily basis. So picture nutrients/minerals as your fuel. And I'm going to picture your body like a car. A car, it wouldn't matter if it's brand new coming out of a dealership. If it doesn't have any, nowadays we have electric cars. If it's not loaded up with electricity, car can't go. The car doesn't have a full tank of gas, car can't go. The same is with your body. Your fuel, that's your minerals. If your body doesn't have enough of its calcium, of its magnesium, of its iron, of its copper, the body can't go. So then the body starts to slow down, or the body starts telling you through pain and through problems. So for an example, that headache that you get most of the time, that's potassium, that's dehydration. The body is saying, I'm thirsty, hello, help me. But you don't know that, so you go and take an aspirin or something of that nature to stop the headache, but it didn't stop the dehydration. So you have to start learning what the body is, and I'll share with you. Follow me, Ask Debbie About Hair and Health. You will find I have videos to share with you what every mineral means, what calcium means, what magnesium means, what potassium means, so that you can start helping your body. I don't like to use the word heal, but so that you can start helping your body or supporting your body recover the right way. So back on track, we're talking about hair loss, and I'm wanting you to understand why you may be experiencing hair loss. I want you to think of your hair as a living reflection of your inner health. And today we're going to address it through your liver, through your gut, and actually through your blood. Because when we make this juice, the juice purpose is to feed your body the nutrients. And because we're juicing and because you're drinking it in liquid form, it's going to go directly into your bloodstream. And then your blood is going to support the nutrients from this juice into the organs and glands that need it. So first, let's talk about what the role of hair is. Hair isn't just beauty. We love our hair. Like I love my braids. I think the little style I got going on today is cute. But it's a mirror of our body's chemistry. Okay, so hair actually, why God gave us hair, it wasn't for the fashion sense. Its real purpose is protection. And every strand is a timeline of your health, holding your minerals, holding your toxins, and holding your hormones. And how many of you knew that? How many of you knew on a strand of hair, we can tell your hormones, we can tell your minerals, we can tell your toxins. And that's what I do. That's one of the things I do in my practice. That's what's called a hair mineral analysis. And we'll leave a link here for you if you're interested in getting a hair mineral analysis. But every strand is a timeline to your health. Now, when your body is overloaded, the first thing it sacrifices is your hair. Why? Because to the body, hair is not essential for survival. And that's true. I mean, we don't need any hair, but we can still survive. So when your body needs minerals, if you're deficient, and let's just say you've eaten something that has a lot of vitamins in it. So let's use our beets for an example, because this is what we're going to be using in our juice. Your body is like, I need all that minerals My liver needs that. My kidneys need that. The brain needs it. The hair will get what's left over. And in many cases, there's nothing left over. So the hair is deprived of its nutrients when you are minerally imbalanced. So that's one of the things I want you to understand. So when your body is in detox mode or defense mode, your hair stops growing to conserve energy. So that's most of us. Our bodies is always in detox mode or in defense mode because we are eating the wrong foods. We are stressed by every mean possible. It wouldn't matter what type of life you live. You're still stressed. You could have no money. You could have a lot of money. It doesn't matter. You're going to be stressed in some form or fashion. So our body, when we get stressed, the body can go into defense mode or the body can go in detox mode. Now, our body has 5 detox pathways that God has put in this body. The liver, the #1 detox pathway. The kidneys is our next very important detox pathway. What do I mean by detox pathway? We need to detox, to cleanse. What is coming in has to come out. Why is it going in? Because the body needs the minerals and the nutrients from it to feed you so that you can drive, so that you can be strong. But once the body has used what it needs, like from the food, now we can get that out as waste. But we have those 5 detox pathways to help the body remove that. But most of us, our detox pathways are jammed, they're clogged, they're backed up, they're burdened, there's so much more. The liver, the kidneys, and then we have our lymphatic system is another detox pathway. We have our skin, which is the largest organ in our body. And then we have our colon and our digestive system. These are our detox pathways. They are here to clean and flush and get out. And when we are in a healthy state, it can do it all by itself. But unfortunately, I don't know anybody who's so healthy that their detox pathways is doing everything on their own. If you're experiencing pain, if you're experiencing problems, health problems, trust me, your detox pathways are not doing it on its own. Because when it's doing what it needs to do, you're not suffering. You don't have any problems. And hair loss is one of them. So what I want you to understand is hair loss isn't a vanity problem. It's your body whispering that something deeper needs attention. So the next thing that I want to address is our scalp. Your scalp is skin with glands and blood vessels. It's like soil. So whenever you look at soil from a plant, I have plants around here. When you look, and I meant to bring some soil. I'm sorry, plant. I'm going to take a little bit of your soil. I'm only going to take a little bit, honey. I ain't going to bother you. Okay, so I took some soil from my plant. This is your scalp. It's the soil. And right now, my plant is a cactus plant. So I can't give her too much water, otherwise she'll start dying on me. But if your scalp is dry, if your soil is dry, then that plant can't grow or your hair can't grow. It's like soil. So if it's dry, toxic, or congested, I'm talking about your scalp, nothing can grow. When sebum mixes with toxins and buildup, it clogs the follicle. And if it clogs the follicle, then nothing can grow. A healthy scalp has good bacteria, balanced oils, and proper circulation. So again, I'm sharing with you, 1, what hair is and the role of hair. 2, I'm sharing with you about the scalp and the importance of the scalp so you can understand. These are the things you want to keep this hair on your head. Then you have to understand the mechanics behind it. And most of us do not take care of our scalp. Our scalp is so neglected, especially all of us with our natural hair. I know when I wear my natural hair out, I have a lot of different products that I'm putting in the hair to make that curl pop. But I also know that I have to wash my hair more often because it leaves a buildup on the scalp. All that product that we put on our hair builds up on our scalp. And when there's a buildup on the scalp, then that means the hair or the follicle underneath, because the hair on the outside is dead, is not going to be able to grow healthy and strong. Now, let's address the follicle. The follicle is the tiny living organ under the scalp. This follicle to me is one of the most important part of it. It's fed by blood vessels that bring oxygen, minerals, and amino acids to the hair. The hair bulb is at the base, and this is where living cells, they divide, they grow, and then they form into the strand that we see. So your blood chemistry, not your shampoo, decides your growth rate and the thickness of your hair. And so like I mentioned, your hair is a living cell. The hair strand itself, the hair we see and touch and feel, that's dead keratin. That's dead. But it's alive underneath the scalp. Once it grows out, that hair dies. But it starts out as a living cell, and that cell needs clean blood. That cell needs sturdy circulation. That cell needs nutrient-rich fuel, the stuff that I'm about to show you. So that's why when you're seeing shedding, you're seeing slow growth, or your hair just isn't growing, that is because it is missing the nutrients that it needs. So let's get started on our juice. So like I mentioned, what are we using for our hair growth juice? We're using beets, and I'm only going to use one of my beets. I've already cleaned them. I usually clean all of my food with baking soda and food grade hydrogen peroxide that I let it soak in a big old pan for about 20 to 30 minutes. And so we're using a beet, and I'll explain to you why we're using the beet. We're going to be using a pomegranate. Now we're getting back into pomegranate season, so many of you will be able to find pomegranate. We are using spinach, fresh spinach, and I'll explain to you why the spinach is needed. And then we're using ginger. Britt, can you do me a favor and get me a piece of ginger from out of there? I forgot to bring my ginger out. So why are we using the beet? The beet boosts nitric oxide for better oxygen delivery. That's one of the main reasons for the beet. Why are we using the pomegranate? Because the pomegranate, which, oh my gosh, I could spend a whole video on the pomegranate. The pomegranate is an amazing gift from God. It's one of these foods that we need to keep in our home at all times. It is so powerful. But here's a tip for you. If you're on a healthy journey, when you go through the produce aisle, your first thing you want to start looking for are foods that are red and purple and blue. Why? These are our anti-cancer foods. These are our anti-inflammatory foods. These are the foods that saves lives. The reds, the purples, anything red, anything purple, anything blue. They were number one on God's list, and lift too. But anyhow, so the pomegranate, it increases blood flow, and for hair, it brings zinc to the follicle. Zinc is one of the most important minerals that hair needs. So this is why we're going to be using pomegranate in our juice. Now, if you cannot find a whole pomegranate, you guys can go find this. I bought this so you can see this. This is the pomegranate. You will also find this in your produce section. It's kind of expensive, but if you don't know how to open up a pomegranate and get all the areas out of it, then you could just go ahead and you will always find this in your store for your pomegranate. And then we're going to be using spinach. Why are we using spinach in our hair growth juice? We're using spinach in our hair growth juice because spinach provides iron. Iron is a factor. When you are anemic, like many of you who are experiencing anemia, I know every last one of you can say, yeah, my hair is thinning. Yeah, my hair is coming out. Oh yeah. When we are deficient in iron, it's going to show up on our hair. Our iron deficiency, because iron is one of the main minerals for hair growth, for healthy hair, for thick, strong hair. And so that's why I'm using it in my juice. But spinach provides iron, it provides folate, and it strengthens new strands. So when you are trying to figure out how to help your hair grow, always add some spinach or something with iron in your food for your hair. Please understand, in order to grow your hair, it's not by you buying hair growth products that says it's going to do it on the external end. Growing hair starts from eating, starts from the inside out. And then we're going to be using a piece of ginger. Why? Because ginger increases circulation and ginger fights scalp inflammation. That's one of the big things that many of us have. We have scalp inflammation. So that's why we're going to be making this juice. So let's go ahead and get settled with our juice. I am going to be using my Nama J. And you guys know I love my Nama J. If you are interested in, Nama is doing a discount using the code Debbie10. We will leave that link in there for you. But I always tell you, listen, if you're on a journey, health journey, skin journey, whole body journey, just get a juicer. It doesn't have to be. This is a pretty expensive juicer, but it's so well worth it when you look at it. If you're just starting out, get you a juicer. It could be something less than $100. It's going to do the job, but eventually you're going to want to get something that's much better, much stronger, that will actually save you nutrients. This is a cold press juicer. Usually our juices that's under $100, it's not a cold press juicer, and most of those juicers use heat to pull the juice out. And if it's using heat to pull the juice out, then you're going to be losing some of the nutrients. So that's why it's best to just invest in your health. We want to live healthy, so invest in you. Nobody else is going to invest in you the way you are going to invest in you. And this right here is an investment in you. But if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have the number, okay, no problem. Get your juicer. And here's the thing, if you don't have a juicer, okay, no problem. Get your blender. You can still do these in the blender, but what you will need is to go on Amazon and look for something called a nut milk bag. When you look for that, it's very inexpensive. It's basically a bag. I think I have one here. I had one here. Okay, I don't have one here right now. But a nut milk bag is a strainer. And all you're going to do is put all your juice, all your foods, your fruits and vegetables in your blender, blend it up really good, pour it into your nut milk strainer, and just strain your juice out. So therefore, I've just told you now you have no excuse on why you cannot make your hair growth juice. If you don't have a juicer, use a blender. If you don't have a Nama, use any juicer. Just let's get this party started. Let's get this body healthy. Let's stop procrastinating. And another thing about this juice, this is my hair growth juice. But this juice is going to help your liver. Your liver loves pomegranate. Your liver loves ginger. Your liver loves spinach. And it loves beets. So you'll find you'll have more energy. You may even find you have better bowel movements. I know that might be TMI, but listen, the truth is the truth. You'll find that you're calmer. All of this when we detox our body system. So let's get started. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to do is I will show you, I'm going to use this, but I want to show you what you need to do. And I actually have one of these that is already cleaned. I just wanted to show you this. I've soaked this too. But when you have a pomegranate, what you're going to do with your pomegranate, you'll take your knife and you'll cut it in four, like you're cutting an orange. Don't cut it to the point where it is going to open up and peel off. Cut it where it's just going to open up in four. So I didn't want to make a mess here, but let me show you what I mean on how to cut your pomegranate. Because pomegranate needs to come to be a part of your life. For anybody who's dealing with high blood pressure, this is your best friend. This is one of the reasons why my mother no longer has high blood pressure. Because when her pressure was up and we fed her pomegranate, her pressure went back to normal immediately. Okay, so I just cut my pomegranate into four, and I want to show you here. It's cut into four, but it's not cut to the point where they're all apart. Now, what you're going to do is get a big bowl, and you are going to get a spoon. And I don't know, I know you guys can't see this below because and maybe you can. You will you're going to turn your pomegranate this way and take your spoon and tap, tap, tap. And all the little areas, my favorite, they're going to start coming out in that bowl. That's how easy it is for you to cut your pomegranate. But I already have pomegranate ready to go. And we're going to use that pomegranate. So this is what it looks like. And so we're going to be using a cup of pomegranate. We're going to use a pinch of ginger. And when you have a beet, let me share this with you about a beet. The beet green itself, most people, y'all throw this away. This is one of the healthiest parts of this beet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to put it in my juicer, all of this. And I've already cleaned it. This had been soaking now for about 35 minutes. I am going to just cut my beet in half. And that's one of the beautiful things about the Nama is that you don't have to cut everything down to small pieces. It's going to get in there and break it all up. So I just cut my beet into 2 pieces. I cut an inch piece of ginger off, an inch of ginger. So I got my greens in there, my beet in there, my ginger in there, and then we are going to do a cup of the pomegranate. And that's it. This is your hair growth juice. And then we'll turn our juicer on and have our amazing juice. So what else do I want to share with you? So one of the things I want to share, and I know sometimes I don't want to talk over the juicer because you can't hear me, but why what you eat shows up in your hair. Your body prioritizes your heart, your brain, and your organs first, and hair is last on the list. So if your gut can't absorb minerals like zinc or iron, your follicles will starve. If your liver can't filter out hormones and toxins, your scalp becomes inflamed. And if your blood flow is poor, your hair roots never get fed. So when we are drinking a juice, why juice? Juice cuts out the middleman. When we juice, we drink this juice, it goes down our esophagus, goes through the stomach, goes right into the bloodstream, and blood now takes the nutrients, pulls those nutrients out, and now blood is feeding the organs. When we eat a food, there's so much more that goes on involved. First of all, it has to be broken down through the stomach. The microbiome has to get involved. The liver has to get involved. All the organs has a lot to do. And many of us, we're having nutritional malabsorption issues where our body is not absorbing our nutrients well. So am I done here? Oh, I'm done. Okay. So this is why most of us are suffering with nutritional deficiencies. Now, if you want to know whether you are suffering with a nutritional deficiency, in my practice, I do something called a hair mineral analysis. It's where we take a sample of your hair. Like I mentioned earlier, your hair tells the story of your life. Your hair tells things that you will never see on a blood test or on a general blood test. Your hair will show me whether you have toxins. Do you have aluminum? Do you have mercury? Do you have cadmium? Do you have arsenic? Your hair will show me all the things that make sense on why your hair isn't growing, why your skin and scalp is dry, why you're dealing with back pain, why you're moody. All these different things happen because of a mineral being off balance. So that hair mineral analysis is that step. And I really wish most doctors would do it. You will only normally get a hair mineral analysis from maybe a naturopathic doctor, a functional medicine doctor, a holistic doctor. A regular general doctor, that's not a part of the curriculum. That's not a part of the protocol. But you don't need a doctor to do that. A hair mineral analysis is one of those tests that you can order yourself. Send some samples of your hair in, and that's how it's done in my practice. You would more or less send me samples, but you just don't put an envelope and send me some hair. There's a process involved. So if you're interested in how this works, there will be a link here. My team will put a link here for you to learn more about a hair mineral analysis, but it's very important. I do this test every year. I make sure that it's done. My family does it, my mother. We need to do this test. I even now have my grandson. I need to see samples of his hair. And here's the beautiful thing for all of you animal lovers. You can actually now do hair mineral analysis. I don't, not in my practice, but for our animals, for our dogs. And I think that's very important because it'll show us, is our dog deficient in zinc? Is that the reason why they're struggling and they have these problems? Because our dogs are suffering also too. Our animals, cats, dogs, the whole nine. But right now I know a hair mineral analysis you can do for a dog and a horse, not necessarily for a cat, but it's so important just to see where their minerals are, because now you know how to feed them. Now you know how to help them recover, because we want our dogs to live as long as we do, don't we? I know I do. I have a house full of them. Okay, so my drink is done. Let's get that pour in. And so you all can drink with me. All right, y'all ready? You know, I like for you to hear the pour. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Well, no, I better put it in here. That's that juice. That's the juice. All right, guys. So here is our hair growth juice. It's all natural. It contains our beets. It contains ginger. it contains spinach, and it contains pomegranate. You're talking about a juice that's helped that body and that hair and that skin. Why do you think my skin looks so nice? I drink a lot of juice. This is good. This is good. This is good. Usually these juices are really good. And you know, after a while of going healthy, things that never taste good to you before do, because I wasn't a beet. I couldn't stand beets. I didn't like asparagus. I did not like Brussels sprouts. I didn't really like cruciferous vegetables. But you know, when you tell your mind, all right, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to do something right. I want to get on a healthy journey. Our palate changes every 14 days. So once you start eating healthy foods, you'll find you appreciate more healthy foods, and that's all you really want in your life. But one of the things I also want to share with you guys today before we close out is I mentioned to you about feeding your scalp, and that's what we're doing. This drink is feeding your scalp from the inside. Now that I've made this, I'm drinking this, it's going straight in the bloodstream. Now my follicles internally, okay, is going to be getting nutrients. It's going to be getting the things that it needs so that it can be fed. Because if you didn't get anything out of this video today, one thing I want you to understand is that you need to feed the scalp, feed the follicle for healthy hair. And that's why I actually have, most of you who don't know me, I have a hair care line and I have a skin care line. But in one of my hair care lines, we have a bundle called the Feed Your Scalp bundle. And in the bundle, it actually is an aloe vera shampoo, and it's 90% aloe vera in my bottle. You will never find that in most places. Most of our shampoos, the first 5 ingredients tells you what's in that product. And when you look at what the first ingredient is, that's what's the most in a product. Well, when you look at mine, shampoo and conditioner, you can't see it from here, but the first ingredient is aloe vera, which means that's the most. But in my Feed Your Scalp bundle, it is an aloe vera shampoo and conditioner. And the conditioner, when I tell you, I love the conditioner. Everybody who's had it, that hair is butter soft. The shampoo is a detoxifier. You know, everything I do is about that detox world. So it is a detoxifying shampoo to get out that buildup, oils, sebum, dandruff, all the things that's lying on the hair and the scalp. So it's a detoxifying shampoo. And then you wind up conditioning with the aloe vera conditioner, which gives that hair a butter soft feel. And then we have this, which is my apple cider vinegar rinse, which is putting the pH balance back in the scalp. If the scalp is off and your balance is off, that's going to be a problem for your hair. So I provided everything to feed your scalp. And then the last thing that comes in this bundle is the Pure 7. I'm sorry, let me take this off for you guys to see. It's the Pure 7 repairing oil. This is the oil that I started with. I've had this oil now, been selling this oil now for over 10 years. And it is a natural 100% oil. Rosemary is in it, thyme is in it, sweet almond oil is in it. These are the things that your hair absolutely loves. So this is your Feed Your Scalp bundle. If you guys are interested in it, my team will put a link here where you can find the Feed Your Scalp bundle to start your protocol for your hair. So you understand, when you want your hair to grow, you got to do, it's a twofold. You got to feed the body, and then you got to take care and you got to feed the scalp. So when you're doing two, the benefit is successful hair. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. It's a couple of things I wanted to share. Like I always share with you, it's about detoxification first. When it comes to our hair, we got to detox. When it comes to our skin, we got to detox. When it comes to our health, we have to help our body and we have to detox. If you are interested in learning how to detox the right way, because there is a right way and there is a wrong way, I have a 30-day class, live class, where I'm in the class with you. It is not a course that you buy and read and try to figure out. I'm a nutritionist. So not only with that, you're getting meals, you're getting what you should be doing for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for 30 whole days. It is a detox program and a parasite cleanse. Why? Because parasites is on the rise. Many of us have parasites and don't know it. Case studies are showing that parasites are mimicking our high blood pressure. Parasites are mimicking our type 2 diabetes. Parasites are mimicking all sorts of symptoms or diagnoses that we're getting. So when we clean this body out, you're giving your body a new leash on life. The bottom line is you're pushing the reset button to start fresh again. So if you're ready to reset your body, I have done it. I've helped over thousands of people in my program. The program runs every month. We start the first Monday of the month. The testimonials and what I hear people are sharing about how their lives are changing, how their mind is changing, because it also affects your mental health also. The body is getting healthy. People are seeing their vision is getting better. People are losing weight. Why? Because we're detoxing the liver, and your liver is the organizer of your fat. You don't need a personal trainer. You need to detox your liver. When you detox your liver, that fat just flushes out. That's science. That's case study. That's not me saying it. And that's hundreds of testimonials of people who worked with me in my detox program. So if you're looking to detox, if you want to feed your hair and scalp, or if you just want to make a juice, please follow me, subscribe, share me with your friends. Let everybody know, hey, there's somebody out there that's really talking about real nutrition in the real way. And I'm going to say that's me. So I want to thank you all for joining me today for What the Health. And no, I'm not cursing. What the health is wrong with you? It's not what you think. This was really good. I should have saved some. I know I didn't save. You know what? Hold on, y'all. I forgot to put my spinach in my juice. It was delicious without. So now I'm going to have to draw up my spinach and add it into the juice. So don't do what I did. I see it on the side here. Go, wait a minute. I didn't put the spinach in. So again, pomegranate, spinach, ginger, and beets for your hair growth juice.